This is Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown and Mike Somich on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Hour number 3, Ready, Set, Bet here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, Series Channel 158, YouTube TV, our very own VSiN Watch app, and terrestrial stations across the great country of ours. Matt Brown, Mike Somich coming to you on a Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Hopefully, you had a Giants ticket if you're a mom out there and you made a bet today. They're up 3-0 early on the Twins. And I said who was doing the damage. And the thing is like basically the whole top of their lineup. So they are hitting the ball well today. Also, the Texas Rangers hitting the ball well today. 5-0 there on the Detroit Tigers, the 26-14 Detroit Tigers, I might add. We look up and down this thing and who's doing the damage for them. Adolis Garcia, Marcus Semien, Carter, Jung, all of these guys getting it done here for this Texas Rangers team that 19-21, a little disappointing, I guess, for them, Mike, so far. But as long as you're hovering kind of around that 500 number for this Rangers team, you can turn it on. So I'm not like panic mode here on that team.
No, you have, a Mariners team that's leading the division. The Astros haven't started out lightning hot, right? You've got the Athletics who are actually second in the division. So you're looking at the teams above you and you're like, yeah, we can catch them, right? You're not overly concerned. Like if the Astros were up 6 on you, you'd be like, this could be a problem. But because of the way that division has played out so far, you're not as concerned if you're a Rangers fan or a Rangers player.
So, Mike, on the Twitter machine, people who kind of have a curated list like you and I, it's every rookie is awesome season right now. So we're doing the little mini camps and stuff. And so everybody's coming through and how awesome every single rookie looks. And so just take it all with a grain of salt, right? Like these beat writers are not coming out here in May going like, wow, I can't believe this. I can't believe they drafted this dude. Like, oh my God, he's terrible. He looks awful. And where, so just remember, that's kind of what we're getting right now. But every route is going to look awesome. And someone made an awesome contested catch and things are just spinning right out of people's hands and all of that stuff. Like that's just kind of what happens here in May.
I mean, Kyle Coleman was an all-pro for the Bills last year during the preseason. And how'd that turn out, right? Yeah. Like there are certain guys. Look, if you're a beat writer and you want access, posting the draft pick is awful is not a good way to get access long-term for the season. So this is a lot of shine being put on guys right now.
We have some first pitches that are coming, one in about 8 minutes, and that is the Padres and the Rockies. Nick Pivetta for the Padres on the road, Herman Marquez for the Rockies at home. Minus 325 for the Padres here on a Sunday, plus 260. If you like the Rockies, why would you? And 11.5 is our total. How are you looking to play this thing?
It's funny because, we always talk about gambling's all about numbers. You got to make sure that you're playing the right number. What number would you need on the Rockies? Like how far? Like the run line is minus 2.5, minus 155.
They need a Pope, Mike.
I want to bet against this.
They need a Pope. Can we get like a vice Pope or something to come from Denver so that we can like talk about that for this team? Like at least the White Sox got a Pope,
2 popes, and then they might be like have some chance of having a positive this season. I mean,
I'm calling for it. We need a vice Pope from Denver so they can feel happy about things there.
I told my wife the Padres won 21-0 yesterday, and she goes, I didn't know football was going. I'm like, yep, that's pretty much how Rockies fans feel too. Look, I want to bet the Padres. I want to find ways to bet against the Rockies, really is what I should say. I'm going to take the team total over on the Padres here, over 3.5, minus 120 for the first 5. It's just phenomenal hitting conditions. Again, today in Colorado, it's warm. The wind's blowing out. Everything is just screaming that we're going to see offense again in Colorado. Oh, on top of that, by the way, you've got a terrible pitcher on the mound in Marquez, who is 0 for 6 with a 9.90 ERA, and the underlying numbers support that. So it's a Padres team that should be able to beat the ball all around the park again today. Give me Bogarts today. RBI minus 105. We cashed with Machado yesterday. We'll take Bogarts today. He's hitting in the middle of the lineup. Should get plenty of opportunities to knock at least one in here. So Padres team total over 3.5 first 5, and Bogarts RBI minus 105 on the RBI.
Mike, we were talking off air, and so I'm actually glad that this happened so we can kind of bring the conversation on air. We compare the lines all the time. We tell you guys, hey, look, this number is here at this book. This number is here at this book. If you want to do this, whatever. We're like, yeah, and ESPN bet is sitting at 7.5, where it was the only 7.5 that had ever shown up. It was the only one. It was sitting out there forever. Well, somebody decided, okay, you want to keep leaving that 7.5 out there, like no good. So all the way down to 6.5. So we were talking about this, guys, on the break. So literally 3 minutes ago, this was sitting 7.5 in favor of Oklahoma City at ESPN, all the way down to 6.5 now, Mike. So somebody looked and said, okay, you want to hang this rogue number? We're going to go and we're going to pound it. So the 7.5 got taken with Denver all the way down to 6.5 now at ESPN Bet. So 6.5 at DraftKings, 7 at FanDuel, 6.5 at MGM, 7 at Caesars, and now 6.5 at ESPN, 7 at Fanatics. So you can find whatever you're looking for out there, unless what you're looking for is a 7.5 because that got bought up.
It's interesting because, when you were talking about all this, it's 6.5, 7, 7.5 across the board. First half is painted 5. Mm-hmm. You have to lay 5 on a 6.5 or 7 number. Everyone expecting you're going to see a big time effort from Oklahoma City in the first half here. You also mentioned maybe this is a strategy from ESPN Bet. I'll tell you, you kind of have to have an ESPN Bet account at this point because they are laying these odd numbers every now and then. It's worth at least looking and seeing if you're catching the extra point, half point, whatever it is with the team that you like. I'm interested to see if this continues into football season as well. If we see, all summer, just random rogue lines that they're putting out there and they're saying we're willing to take this action. And maybe it's a marketing ploy, right? Maybe they want people to say, I want to play this number, but it's something you kind of have to keep an eye on now because it's been something we've noticed 3 times the last 3 weekends that they've had a different number than the rest of the books out there.
Yeah, it is. It seems to be a theme for sure with them. And somebody decided, okay, you want to hang it? We're going to take it. So,
enough of that.
So there it is. Literally, it jumped a whole point. Didn't even stop at 7. Just went all the way from 7.5 all the way to 6.5. So enough money came in on that to move that thing a full point in the last 5 minutes or so out there. But like we said, 6.5, 7 across the market, 228, 228.5. is our total. As we look at some of these props out there, SGA, Mike, he's going to play a ton of minutes. He's awesome. 32.5. 33 points for SGA is his prop. Slightly shaded towards the under, and I think it's probably people betting this on principle. I mean, it's just 33 points in an NBA game is just a ton of points. And so, I don't know, man. Like, I love what I like, like I said, I like the Thunder today and I like whatever, but 33 points is just a ton of points to bet in a prop market.
It's a lot of points. His 30 plus points is minus 200. You don't see 30 plus in a minus number, let alone minus 200 very often. I'd lead under, but at the same time, I'm not running to the window to play it because he is capable of going for 35 in any given game. I think the Jokic 3-pointers is really interesting here. We saw him take 10. His prop is at 1.5 for game 3 or game 4 here. Mm-hmm. Do you think he keeps shooting, or do you think this is a chance to go under the 1.5 at plus money where he's just not going to take as many threes because of what we saw last game?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what is the correlated bet here for us? If we like OKC or if you like Denver, like what are these correlated bets? I mean, Jokic is sitting at 28.5. You got Gordon at 16.5, Murray at 20.5. So you're talking about like every one of those dudes having to have games, right, to hit their problem. You're talking like 29 points for Jokic, 21 points for Murray, and 17 points for Gordon in this prop market. Gordon seems to be playing pretty confidently right now and all that. I don't necessarily want to bet against him. So if he's making those points, Mike, then at that point is the correlated play to just say that Michael Porter Jr. isn't just going to continue to be playing out of his mind? So now is that the bet against?
It is. It is the bet against in my mind, especially with his shoulder injury and short rest. Mm-hmm. The other side of that is he's sitting at just 12.5. Yeah. So he's way below his average number. So it's the correlated play that a lot of people have already A, played, or B, the books adjusted for. Russell Westbrook sitting at 11.5. Mm-hmm. I'm a little interested into the over there. Yeah. I think he's going to get a lot of open shots today. I think if you go back and you watch the film and you are this Oklahoma City team, you're like, who do we want to shoot? Well, first we want Russell Westbrook to shoot. Second, we want Russell Westbrook to shoot. Third, we would like Russell Westbrook to shoot. And then maybe after that, we consider Aaron Gordon or Murray or Porter Jr. getting a shot up. And so I think Russell Westbrook's going to have a lot of looks.
Yeah, and that's in the other thing too. If we're talking about like we talk about game script a lot in football whenever we're breaking this down. So let's talk about game script here. If we like Oklahoma City and we think that this game could possibly get out of hand, then you're going to get extended run from Russell Westbrook. And look. Say what you will about Russell Westbrook and where he's at in his career right now, he can still get to the hole pretty good. And if you're down 17, they're going to give you layups and all that. So like whatever he scores you in his normal minutes in the first 2.5 quarters, and then if you get some garbage time at the end, I think I'm with you, especially considering that you're getting even money on this. Like you're not even having to lay anything. Like, you're getting even money on 12 points for Russell Westbrook. I
am also going to be keeping an eye on Peyton Watson and Christian Brown perhaps. If it's a blowout at half. I want to see what they hang the full game line in from a point perspective on those two who are likely to play a lot of minutes, because you see a 2-1 lead here for the Thunder, not a game they have to win. I'm sorry, 2-1 lead for the Nuggets, not a game they have to win. I wouldn't be shocked if they're clearing their bench out if this is out of hand in the first half, and that plays to those type of guys, Watson and Brown, for second half point totals.
Now, we still got 5 hours until tip in Cleveland and Indiana. That said, Mike, I mean, this thing is stuck in the mud. We're still sitting 5.5 across the board here. We have seen no action whatsoever on this game. 230.5 to 231.5 is the total out there. But we came on air at 5.5, and I mean, my screen has not flashed one single time on this one.
No, this game is pretty much just set at 5. We didn't even see much movement into yesterday. We saw this OKC game get bet out consistently yesterday. We have not seen that from this Cleveland game. I think a lot of people, like noobs, are kind of wondering what we're going to get from these returning players who were injured for the Cavs, who came back in game 3. Are we going to see the same version of them in game 4?
Guys, if you haven't done so already, VEASAN Pro, a year for $199, and then we're going to tack on a free 60 days. Yes, 2 free months of VEASAN Pro for $199. So 14 months for the price of 12 at VEASAN.com/subscribe. You're going to get those emailed best bets. You're going to get the betting splits. You're going to get the daily breakdowns of everything going on in the sports world. And of course, every single one of the betting guides that we put out as well for the tentpole sporting events. So VEASAN.com/subscribe, $199 for 14 months.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back to Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown and Mike Somich on VEASAN, the Sports Betting Network.
Ready, Set, Bet here on VEASAN. Matt Brown, Mike Somich here on a Sunday over at the Truist. Sepp Straka 2 under through 5. Shane Lowry 2 under through 5. They hold a 4-stroke lead over Patrick Cantlay and Justin Thomas. Patrick Cantlay slowed it down there, Mike. It's almost as if you can't just continue to make birdies at will. He is 5 under through 11 now. He's 5 under through 7, 5 under through 11 now. Justin Thomas just 1 under on the day. Jacob Bridgman has moved up 4 under through 10 holes. He's in T5 with Keith Mitchell, who's just stuck in neutral. We made that call yesterday. Keith Mitchell was not going to win this tournament. So here we are. Sepp Straka, Shane Lowry, 4-stroke lead on Cantlay and Thomas.
Yeah, it looks like it's between the two of them now. Cantlay is simply going to run out of holes, and Thomas doesn't seem to quite have it today. We saw him have a lot of birdies on the par 4s yesterday. He's only birdied the par 5 so far today. So it looks like it's a 2-horse race out there.
Yeah, it is. 2 guys, this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt pretty bad. 2 guys I've bet a lot this year and just didn't pull the trigger this week. One of these guys is going to win.
Just remember Thursday, Matt. Remember you're 55-1 to be first round leader, and then true. Go smile and be happy at your Mother's Day brunch after this.
This is true, but man, it's just guys that it always hurts. I mean, you probably don't get this in horse racing because you probably only bet the same horse like 2 times, maybe ever, 3 times, maybe ever. No, more than that.
No, with the big races that we cover a lot, you don't have the longevity. You have horses that run till they're 7 till they're 8 years old. And I focus mainly on California, Florida, and New York. A lot of the horses who run in New York run in Florida. So you'll see them year round. You'll have races where you bet them 2-3 times in a row, and then you don't bet them the next time and they win at 12-1, 13-1. And you're just kicking yourself because it's like, I knew this horse had this effort in them. You just didn't time it right for the time of that effort. So it is one of the struggles, because you create these perceived issues in your head around some of these horses where you generate bias, and that bias affects how you can handicap sometimes if you just look at the name. Every now and then I will handicap races and I will just take the names off of the horses so I don't think about those previous races that I have in my head that I bet them on.
If you do want to bet along with us here at the network, firstbet.com is the place to get that done. 1stbet.com. Go in. We talk about this all the time, that it's not only can you make your bets in there, but you can watch the races right in the app, which is just a really great feature here over on FirstBet. Use the promo code VEASAN200 to get up to a $200 sign-up bonus as well. So again, that's firstbet.com, 1stbet.com, VEASAN200 for up to a $200 sign-up bonus. Mike, we'll do 45 seconds of sports talk radio. We try to get back to the betting content as quickly as possible, but I did see a lot of stuff after the Kentucky Derby with them saying that there needs to be a change in the qualification stuff for California horses, that they are treated unfairly towards this. Is this all true? Is there something to all of this?
Well, there was a major rule change this year where they said if a field does not have 6 horses, that the points are less for the Kentucky Derby. So the Santa Anita Derby ended up with only 5. Thus, you did not see Baeza get enough points to get in. The ironic part of that is the best horses in America were in California. So it was a very stacked field of 5 versus some of these other races, which are weaker fields. It's a dual point problem, right? First off, we need more horses in California that are running in these races. The second is, you can't really knock these California horses because the competition is so good. And so it's hard to really talk your way through it of how you should get these points. And no one ships to California. That's the other part of this. You see Bob Baffert, you see Mike McCarthy, you see a lot of these California trainers go to Keeneland, go to Louisiana, go to Arkansas, go to Florida, go to New York to run and get points. No one goes to California because you don't have anywhere else you can go after that, right? If you ship to New York, you can decide, okay, I want to run the next prep at Keeneland, and you're not going back and forth across the country. If you go to California, you either stay in California for the next major prep, or you got to go all the way back across the country, and it makes it a lot less likely that people decide to ship out there, especially when journalism and Citizen Bull and Barnes and Baeza are waiting for you in that race to ship to. There's just easier spots. And so it's unfair to California horses, especially in this year's crop, because they were better. But it is a consistent problem where we're not getting enough California horses to run in these races because no one's willing to ship there.
Still 6.5, 7 out there. Oklahoma City and Denver. That tip's coming in about 10 minutes. So if you want to get in on that one, be sure and do so. 227.5, the market low. 228.5, the market high as far as the total. So 6.5, 7, 227.5 to 228.5 if you want to play that one. Now, more baseball games today, and we did get a starter announced for the Yankees. Ryan Yarbrough is going to go for them. Luis Severino for the A's over there in Sacramento. This is Yankees minus 155, A's plus 130, and 11 on this total. So, Mike, we are now starting to see the real big adjustment here for the A's home games. And it's not necessarily just because of the ballpark shift. Now that has a lot to do with it, but also because this A's team, as we continue to say, is a little froggy. And so not only do you get the big boost there and then moving to Sacramento, but you have a team that is not just dead in the water like we've seen in years past here with this A's team, at least over the last 3 years.
Yeah, they've got a ton of power, right? They can hit the baseball out of the park, and this park plays toward people hitting it out of the park. So it's a perfect setup for this A's team. And again, the weather is turning. I think that's the other big part here. Earlier in the season, we were seeing 8.5, 9 totals, but it was also 50 degrees. Now it's 80 degrees and sunny. The ball is absolutely flying out of that park. We talked about this yesterday. We saw 6 home runs in yesterday's game between the Yankees and the Athletics. I would expect we're going to continue to see balls that are fly balls in a lot of other places be home runs in this ballpark. And then on top of it, because it's a minor league stadium, the wind plays a bigger factor because the stands aren't as high behind home plate. So when it is blowing out, you have a bigger factor of the wind advantage here for hitters. And then you have the foul ground. There's just not much of it. So you don't have pop-outs in foul territory as often as you do other stadiums. All of that plays toward overs, and that's something that I want to keep looking at. I took a Yankees team total over 5.5 today. Severino, one of those pitchers that I want to play against when he's at home. He's struggled at home so far this year. He struggles giving up the home run ball. All of those things are very bad when you are now playing a Yankees team that can hit the home run ball up and down the lineup, and you have these weather conditions like you have today with the wind blowing out, with the higher temperatures. So I'm interested to see if we have a higher average total at the end of the season in Sacramento or in Coors, because those two stadiums are going to be clearly your highest totaled stadiums as we go throughout the season.
Orioles and the Angels. Orioles on the road as minus 148 favorites over the Angels. That lets you know where the Angels are because, yeah, this Orioles team is really bad. Tyler Anderson on the hill for the Angels, plus 124 home dogs. 9 is the total here. Most disappointing team in baseball, Mike, on the road as minus 148 favorites.
I feel like we say this every single weekend, Matt. Orioles still can't hit the baseball. No. It's been a problem since the start of the year. They can't figure out how to right the ship offensively.
I can't back this team at minus 148. There's no way.
They were supposed to be awesome. They were supposed to be able to hit the cover off the ball, and the pitching was the problem. It's all a problem right now in Baltimore. Yeah, there's no way I could back them minus 148 here. A little tempted by the under, to be honest with you, Matt. This is two teams that don't hit the baseball very well. No Trout for the Angels, and you have this Orioles team that just cannot find consistency at the plate.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the worst ownership, I think, too, maybe in Major League Baseball. Like, you sat here on a farm system that had literally like 20 guys in the top 100 throughout your farm system, and you didn't make any moves to have a even somewhat passable pitching staff this year. Like, I don't know what is going on there. Now, they're not hitting, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway, but I can tell you this, you're not winning anything with that rotation, Mike, and like the fact that this ownership is just sitting on their hands and doing absolutely nothing. They're wasting away this Orioles team, and it's very hard to watch, especially considering if you have a bet on them like this idiot does. I'm pointing to myself, by the way, for people that aren't watching. I'm the idiot.
It's crazy to think where we were last year, and this Orioles team was awesome, right? You had Corbin Burns. They were hitting the baseball. We were talking about them, best record in the AL, and that they need to make a move for pitching. They don't do it. We're talking, okay, well, the championship window should be open for 3-4 years for this Orioles team. You fast forward 1 year later, and you're like, do they need to rebuild? Like, is it what do you even do if you're the front office of this Orioles team at this point? Because the guys that you thought were super valuable in your farm system don't have the same value they did 1 year ago. You're not going to be able to get the same talent back for them you could have when they were in your farm system. And now all of a sudden you're like, what is even the next move?
Yeah.
I don't even know who you trade from your offensive lineup because they're all hitting so poorly. You're getting 75 cents on the dollar for them. Now isn't even the time to make the move, and you just have to hope it figures itself out this year so you can do something at the deadline or do something in the offseason to figure out your pitching staff.
Finally got some runs in that Braves-Pirates game, Mike, and it's actually 3 across for the Pirates. So they have a 3-0 lead there in the bottom of the 6th over the Braves, 4-1 Cardinals and the Nats at the end of the 7th. Brewers and Rays, after a little bit of a delay, 2-2 there in the bottom of the 4th. Rangers still on that 5-0 lead there over the Tigers. Just 2 hits for the Tigers, 10 for the Rangers. Red Sox and Royals, 1 apiece at the bottom of the 5th. Just 1 hit for the Royals there in that one. Astros, 3-0 over the Reds in the 4th. Marlins, White Sox, 1 each. Giants, 4-2 over the Twins. And then Rockies, 3-1. 4 runs in the first inning there in this Padres and Rockies game, and 3 of them came by the Rockies. So incredibly interesting there.
3-run shot
in that one. Ryan Gilbert going to join us. We're going to talk some hockey when we come back here on Ready, Set, Bet.
Welcome back to Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown and Mike Somich on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Ready, Set, Bet here on VSiN. Matt Brown, Mike Somich coming to you on a Sunday live on Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. Thank you for joining us as you are heading to brunch, heading to lunch, heading to... Why do you keep saying brunch? Why can't people just go into lunch? Why does that have to be brunch? Just because it's Sunday? It has to be brunch?
Well, if you search like Mother's Day activities in your city, they're all called brunches. Like there's like 7 or 8 brunches here in Santa Barbara, and they go to like 4 or 5 o'clock, but everyone's listed as a brunch, and they have like, brunch menus until that later in the day. So there's mimosas flowing. They got all the different breakfast foods, so it's a brunch menu, even though it's at lunchtime.
I'm just curious if you eat lunch food at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, though the restaurant is still serving brunch, you're still going to brunch, even though it's just lunch in your mind?
My reservation says I am going to brunch.
Okay. All right. I'm just curious. It's an interesting thing, right? I mean, I just don't know why we have to just force brunch upon people. We can't just be going to lunch. Let's just go to lunch. I don't know. Maybe Ryan has an opinion on this. Joining us here on the Progressive Guest on Ryan Gilbert, NHL expert over there at the Hockey Gambling Podcast. Ryan, what do you think? I mean, what's this brunch thing? Can we not just go to lunch on a Sunday? Did we have to go to brunch? Is that forced upon us?
It is forced upon us. It's Sunday. It's Sunday brunch. It's almost getting to be dinner time here, though, on the East Coast. So,
okay, so we have a puck drop at 1:40 Pacific, so that's going to make it 4:40 over there on the East Coast. The Jets and the Stars. This is currently minus 148 on the Stars, plus 124 for the Jets as road dogs. 5.5 is our total. Not shaded one way or the other really here on this one. What do you think we see at 4:40 Eastern?
Yeah, it's been a good series so far. Dallas going into Winnipeg, getting that split, getting the win in game one. But then game two, Connor Hellebuyck looked like he was back to his Vezina Trophy winning self there, right? Getting the 21 save shutout there. But he's always struggled on the road this regular season. He had a .938 save percentage at home, .911 on the road. And in their first round series, Winnipeg did not win a game in St. Louis, did not even really show up, losing 7-2, 5-1, and 5-2. So the Stars price, it's getting juiced up a little bit, but I still think the Stars do get it done here at home. They've been a much better home team this season, and Winnipeg has struggled on the road definitely there. So Jason Robertson back for the Stars, Jake Ottinger looking good in net. So I like Dallas here to take a 2-1 series lead.
Yeah, I laid the 1.5 here with Dallas. I have no clue what to expect from Connor Hellebuyck on the road here. You mentioned his St. Louis struggles, gave up 16 goals in 6 periods there. Didn't finish any of those 3 games in St. Louis. He's given up 4 more in 7 straight road games. All of these stats for who is arguably the best regular season goalie at this point that we have in the NHL. So we'll see how he's able to perform here on the road in a pretty crucial game 3 in this Jets Stars series. One other series going on tonight. We got Toronto, who is going to head in and take on the Florida Panthers. We saw Florida lose both games up in Toronto. We saw Toronto lose game 3 in Florida. But Toronto seemed to control that game a little bit early, and we saw Florida find their game in the second period, able to get a fluky goal from Marchand to be able to end up winning that one in the third. What do you make of today's game, and where's today's line is currently sitting at?
I mean, today's line, seeing the Panthers here as minus 200 favorites again, I just don't understand it. This is the second round of the playoffs. We've seen both of these teams take down a pretty good team in the first round, and then Toronto, like you said, be the better team for parts of that game 3, come out with the victories in game 1 and game 2. Even with Joseph Woll there in net, I think the value here has to be on the underdog Leafs at plus 160, plus 165, plus 170 I'm seeing out there. So yeah, these should be close games. I mean, the Panthers have proven they can do it before. The Leafs are still trying to prove they can get past the second round here. This is the longest playoff run they've had in quite some time, getting 2 wins in the second round. But I mean, yeah, Panthers should be home favorites, but not nearly quite this big. So seeing Leafs plus 170, I like that. And, got to go with the over at a flat 6 there, over 6 at minus 120. We saw 9, 7, and 9 goals in the first 3 games so far. So expect to see some power play goals and some goals in general here as the Leafs try to take a 3-1 series lead.
Talking to Ryan Gilbert, Hockey Gambling Podcast. Let's head to tomorrow, 7:10 Eastern, Capitals and the Hurricanes. This is minus 238 for the Hurricanes at home, plus 195. Caps on the road, 5.5 our total here in this one. Juice towards the under. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, kind of a very similar thing from the side perspective here. Hurricanes should be home favorites, but minus 250 against the team that won the President's Trophy. I just don't see it. I'll be taking the Capitals here at a nice 2-1 price, plus 208 there. So even the puck line, plus 1.5 at minus 137. In these playoffs, we've seen a bunch of overtime games, a few 1-goal games there as well. So expecting a low scoring game. So that under 5.5, even at the minus 120. You got to take that. You haven't seen more than 4 goals in a game yet. Capitals were not able to score last time out on Frederik Andersen, who's been a key difference maker for the Canes there in net. He has had health struggles in the past, but he's been healthy here for the majority of the playoffs, and he's showing that. So I like the Caps here as 2-1 dogs, and I like the under for another low-scoring contest.
And if you are going to go and play that under, play it now. This game is probably going to puck drop around under 5.5. It's going to probably be minus 135, somewhere in that range when it finally becomes all said and done. We saw this in the Jets Blues series where the Youngers was getting hammered and that dropped. We saw it in the Canes first round series where the under got bet every single day and you were getting the best price right when they released those numbers. So if you want that under 5.5 in Canes Caps, I would bet it right now. Now, in the late game tomorrow, we got a thriller last night between the Oilers and the Vegas Golden Knights. 2 own goals in the final 3 minutes. Vegas drops down 2-0 to an Edmonton team. It felt like that series was over. Halfway through the first period, all of a sudden you see the Vegas Golden Knights storm back, end up getting the win somehow in a game that I thought was kind of oddly priced. I was hoping to get plus 130 on Vegas last night. We saw it drop closer to plus 105. And so we've seen it move back a little bit here. Vegas Golden Knights now plus 111. The Oilers are minus 124 favorites at home for game 4 of this series. You expect Vegas to be desperate again, wanting to tie this up and head back 2-2. Spend a high scoring series, total sitting at 6.5, the over minus 135, the under plus 115. What are you doing with this game 4 here with Vegas and Edmonton?
Yeah, Vegas, not in an unfamiliar spot, down 2-0, and then winning that game 3, but unfamiliar to be on the road down 2-0 in a series. They have not been a great road team this season. Edmonton's been okay at home, pretty much the same at home as on the road. But yeah, big comeback win last night in Edmonton to get it done in the final second there with Riley Smith scoring, Leon Draisaitl the own goal. Stuart Skinner starting again for the Oilers here, who was their starter, but he came in, looked a bit shaky against Vegas. And the key thing here is Mark Stone. He left the second period of that game. He's like really, the top guy on the top line with Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel's trying to get some assists there, but none of his guys are finishing for him. So I think Vegas here does have some value on the plus 111 money line. Just can't trust Edmonton. Their depth has shown up a little bit, but very top heavy team. And I think Vegas's defense can kind of cancel that out. And also Aiden Hill, he has to show up for Vegas, and he has in the spots. So 6.5, the over minus 135 is juiced pretty high, but that's the only way I would potentially look in this one.
Ryan, Connor McDavid is your favorite in the Conn Smythe market at 6-1. Is there any bets maybe to put in the account here?
Yeah, the Conn Smythe is a market that I really like to attack, especially this round and next round. It's like you look at the Stanley Cup odds, you see the Oilers favored at plus 370, but you can get McDavid for almost double that at 6-1. And we saw last year they didn't win the Cup, and he won the Conn Smythe. So I think it's finding these teams. How is this team going to win the Cup if they do? Like you look at the Jets, they're 11-1 for the Cup, and you can get Hellebuck at 35-1. If they win the Cup, it's going to be Connor Hellebuck locking back in, turning into that Vezina goalie that we know he can be. So like also like a team like the Panthers, they're 6-1. They don't really have a heavy favorite with Sergei Bobrovsky's numbers going down. They have Barkov at 30-1. I like that quite a bit. Sam Reinhart's a long shot out there at like much longer than that, 35-1. So it's, finding these players on teams where, there might be value. There's no obvious winner like a McDavid, like a Mikko Rantanen for the Stars, and even a Freddie Anderson. I mean, he's showing up big time for the Canes, but down at 10-1, I think I'd rather go for someone like Svechnikov at 45-1 on this Canes team that, you could see an Anderson injury at some point.
He is Ryan Gilbert. Find his work over in the Hockey Gambling Podcast at @RGilbertSOP over there on the Twitter machine. Ryan, do appreciate the time and good luck today.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh boy, Mike. Did you see that Truist leaderboard, buddy? Did you see that? Huh?
No.
Did you see JT go 3 under in his last 4 holes to get within 2? Let's sweep this thing, huh? Let's go, Justin Thomas. He is still 2 back, though, of Shane Lowry.
Sounds like the Matt Brown Mother's Day brunch might turn to a Matt Brown Mother's Day dinner because you got something to watch here.
I mean, it's going to be like pulling the phone out as it is anyway. I mean, listen, look. Everybody knew what they were getting into when it came out. When it came to that,
you didn't schedule brunch at the club.
I've been this way since I was 6 years old.
Nothing's changed.
I've been this way since I was 6 years old. Nothing's going to change. I am who I am, for better or for worse. We'll put a bow on this episode of Ready, Set, Bet when we come back here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome back to Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown and Mike Somich on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Final segment of Ready, Set, Bet here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Thank you for being with us here for the last 3 hours. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there listening. And not the biggest offensive explosion going on there in Denver. 3-0, 3 minutes into the game. And the only reason we got to 3 is because Jokic got a technical foul for defensive 3 seconds. So SGA makes the free throw. So Chet Holmgren with 2, SGA with 1, and 0 points on the board for the Denver Nuggets at home here. Hopefully you were on the under.
Yeah, combined 1 for 11 right now. Combined 0 for 7 from 3. So not exactly a dynamic first 3 minutes here that we're seeing from Denver, but definitely seeing the total drop precipitously because of it.
Yeah, I'm actually okay that we don't have it on here in the studio. I didn't miss anything, Mike. I didn't miss anything at all. So we'll figure out if they can get stuff going there.
They're missing plenty for you, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, 3-0 still. We're down under 9 minutes left in that game. Okay, let's do the baseball rundown real quick before we get to our best bets here. Games are starting to come to an end, so if you do want to get on any of these live, there is an opportunity. The Braves are down 3-0 to the Pirates. If you don't believe in that Pirates bullpen, it is the 8th inning right now for the Braves if you want to bet them. 6-1 Cardinals over the Nats at the end of the 8th, so we're heading to the 9th inning there. Brewers and Rays 3-2 in favor of the Brewers. Mike, we found out Contreras is playing with a fractured finger, and apparently he's just going to gut it out and continue to play for the Brewers through a fractured finger. That you catch 95, 98 mile an hour pitches for a living. I don't know. Seems like I wouldn't do it. I don't know about you.
He hit a home run today. Can't question him, right? Like if he's got a fractured finger, catching 95 and hitting home runs, we'll stick him out there until he tells us to take him out.
Rangers 6-0 over the Tigers in the top of the 8th. I mean, Rangers just all over this Tigers team, and Tigers nothing going at the plate today. 2 hits here in this one, 11 for the Rangers. Red Sox 3-1. Devers goes deep for them in this one, so he won't play first base, but he'll continue to hit bombs.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I mean, you need the home runs. Just throw them at DH. It's just a mess right now in Boston.
Is that the weirdest thing? I was going to say, is this is just one of the weirdest stories. Like, I get it. He's mad that they didn't want him to play third base. And so now he's going to take it out on the team and not go play first base when you have a giant hole at first base. Like, Mike, are we going to give, if this was somebody else, like if this wasn't Rafael Devers, like this would be a massive story, but for whatever reason, this is just getting kind of swept under the rug, maybe because we're in the middle of the playoffs with the NBA and the NHL, but a dude getting paid 8 figures is going to say, yeah, no, man, I'm not playing first base. I'm just going to DH. They made me do a position switch in the offseason to DH is what he was saying. Like, that's not a position switch, dude. You hit anyway. Like, what do you mean?
What? He's not hitting. He didn't hit for the first 20 games of this season either. It's not like he's like ripping the cover off the ball and has some leverage over the team. No, he stunk. Yeah. And then he's like, but I also won't play this position. It's like, come on, man, just get out there.
It's like, what is going on?
Wilson Contreras is playing with a broken finger and you won't go play first base.
And you won't go play first base. It's unreal. Bottom of the 6th, Astros up 4-0 on the Reds. Reds just 1 hit there in that one. Marlins and White Sox 1 apiece in the 5th inning. The Twins have come all the way back here on the Giants. So 4-4 there in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Giants have gone early to Doval here. So Doval in the game already in the 6th inning for the Giants. And we said the Rockies have a lead in a Major League Baseball game. Yeah. It is 3-1.
You can get the Padres plus 114 right now. The Rockies to lose. The Rockies are minus 145 favorites of 3-1 in the 3rd inning. You get
a lot of at bats still for the Padres and
6 more.
Yeah,
in fact,
I mean the Rockies are 6-33. Just a reminder. Anyway, the Rockies are 6-33. Let's get to our G Bank best bets here, Mike. You still have some that haven't gone, guys. Mine is in the basketball game, so unfortunately, hopefully you were here for the first 3 hours of the show. We talked about that, but you still have some that are still to go.
Yeah, I'm going to take a couple. We'll go to the ice here. We'll take the Stars minus a goal and a half. You can get that out there plus 185, plus 190, depending on where you're shopping. I'm just willing to bet against this Winnipeg team on the road. We saw the St. Louis Blues absolutely dominate them in all 3 road games. And now you have a better Stars team. Yes, the Stars are better than the Blues at home. It's 1-1. It's a point where you expect the Stars to come out and play well early and often in this game. So let's lay the puck line here. Stars minus 1.5 plus 195. And then in the later game today, you got the Panthers taking on the Leafs, and this price has been bet out. You're seeing the Panthers as high as minus 210 favorites out there in the market now. I like the Panthers. I'm not willing to lay minus 210, and the puck line, not enough for me, but you can get Panthers in regulation minus 125. I thought this should be about 10, 15 cents higher. So I'll take the Panthers to win in regulation minus 125 in the later hockey game, Matt.
What are we doing over on the track?
We're heading over to Belmont at the Big A again. We'll start out in the 8th race here. This is a turf race where there's just one speed horse. That's the number 7, Gem Mint 10. So I think Gem Mint 10 can take this field gate to wire in the 8th race over at Belmont at the Big A. 3-1 right now on the morning line on Gem Mint 10. And then in the 9th race, the number 3 horse Fires Out. This is a Colts Neck Stables horse. Jorge Duarte Jr. trains. He's had a bad year, but he has been very good statistically the past couple years. So I'm willing to take a shot here with Jorge Duarte Jr. shipping a horse to New York. Generally ends well for anyone who bets that horse. 4-1 right now on the 3 horse Fires Out. He'll be making his second career start.
There we go, guys. So we're going the 7 horse there in race number 8 and the 3 horse in race number 9. These are our best bets brought to you by G-Bank. So go sign up for the G-Bank Visa Signature Card today. So most credit cards do treat sportsbook and gaming transactions as cash advances. So they don't do that over at G-Bank, and that's going to save you 3 to 5% on those cash advance fees whenever you use the card here. So one other thing you get here is a 1% cashback rewards on all eligible sportsbook and gaming transactions and 2% cashback on rewards in all other eligible purchases. So you can apply now at vsin.com/GBank. That is VSIN.com/G-BANK. Vsin.com/GBank. Mike, I am looking here to see if Russell Westbrook has scored any points as we took the over on that. He has not entered the game quite yet. And then I look down to see that the Nuggets are 0 for 4 from 3. The Thunder are 0 for 6 from 3. So 0 for 10 collectively here in a 7-3 game with 7 minutes left in the first quarter. I'm not making that up, guys. That's the score.
Not to, Russell Westbrook hasn't scored. No one really has scored. As you said, 7-3.
No one has scored.
We're still waiting for the winner of race to 10, and we are 6 minutes into this basketball game. That's something. The total was 228.5. The in-game total now 212.5. So we've seen almost a 20-point adjustment in the first 6 minutes because there are 10 points currently on the board between the Nuggets and the Thunder here.
Mike, it's tough to be a Los Angeles Ram. I'm getting word here through the Twitter machine that they are holding mandatory minicamp in Maui. So it's mandatory in Maui. Yeah. So Sean McVay and the Rams, I imagine they're going to get 99% participation there for that minicamp.
Beat writers rejoice, right? If it's mandatory, you got to be there if you're the Rams beat writer.
Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I got to be there. I got to see who's getting the reps, right? Yeah. Sorry, give me that company credit card. If every player's
there, I have to be.
Yeah, give me that company credit card. Listen, I promise you I will not be putting, fancy coconut drinks on it or anything like that. I just need to be there for work. I really do. It's a thing that I have to do. It's again, I think I like that Rams team a little bit.
I do too. I think they're the best team in the NFC West. We'll see the schedules here. We're doing the schedule release show on Wednesday. Excited to do that with you, Matt. Excited to see what these actually look like, how we can kind of dissect them and find good spots, bad spots in the schedule, spots to bet MVPs on certain teams, rookie of the years on certain teams, spots to fade in season as well. We'll have to get all the bookmarks ready there as we get the schedules released this Wednesday.
Yeah, and that's one of the things here, guys. I hope you are able to join me and Mike as we go through all of that. And there is actionable betting information in all of this. I know you're saying, like, dude, we already know what these win totals are and all that. And I'm like, sure, we do know what the win totals are, but we can put a little bit more context to these, Mike. Our team's playing 3 consecutive road games. Is there any of those crazy anomalies like we saw with the Chiefs last year where they played 3 games in 11 days? Or any of those the weird little things, scheduling quirks where we might be able to go in and say, like, man, as much as I like this team, or on the other side of this, I hate this team already, and then now they have to do this, X, Y, Z, stuff like that. I think we will find stuff that we will want to put into our account.
Oh, 100%. I mean, lines are going to be on the move when these schedules come out. We're going to find out, what the schedule looks like around international games for certain points. If there are specific stretches like the Steelers stretch to close the season last year that are highlighted by people. We had the Chiefs go through a stretch like that a couple of years ago. We saw Philadelphia's season completely change 2 years ago because of the stretch that they had to go through. We'll get to find all of that out on Wednesday.
The Sepp Straka birdies 8 and 9. He is back out to a 3-stroke lead over Justin Thomas. I'm not going to win the outright on this one. It's okay. Sepp Straka, a guy I've bet a million times. Anyone that listens to Long Shots, anywhere your podcasts are available, knows how much I bet Sepp Straka. Going to be a bummer. Stick around here for Live Bet Sunday. That's going to be followed by Cashing Out with Joe Serralo. And, of course, you can wake up to VSiN by the books tomorrow starting at 7 a.m. Eastern. For Mike, I am Matt. Good luck on all your bets.